Mangwanani Mwalelepo Vukenjani, class, welcome to Africa. Good morning. This is your portal into Africa's potent stories. On today's episode, we begin in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where prosecutors seek the death penalty for former President Joseph Kabila amid escalating tensions. In Kenya, fresh graves emerge near the Shakahola cult site, reigniting national debate. Interpol's cybercrime raid across Africa nets over 1,200 arrests. We also uncover the historic UK-Mauritius Chagos Islands sovereignty deal, Liberia's nationwide ban on Shisha and tramadol, and economic news on Congo's new central bank reforms. Mike Sichula also joins us for the Zambia report. Watch Africa Good Morning on DStv 285, GOtv 25, Network Media Hub on YouTube, as well as NTV Africa on YouTube, and of course, oneup2.com. My name is Ashwin Berry. Top stories shortly.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Let's get into our top stories on the 25th of August. The Democratic Republic of Congo's military auditor General Likulia Lucien Rene has formally requested the death penalty for former President Joseph Kabila, Reuters reports. Kabila, who ruled the country for nearly 2 decades before stepping down in 2018, is being tried in absentia for alleged war crimes, including homicide, torture, and deportation. He has mostly lived in South Africa since late 2023 and was last seen in May this year in Congo's rebel-controlled eastern regions, where Rwanda-backed M23 rebels have seized mineral-rich territory. Kabila announced his intention to return to help restore peace in April, prompting the government to ban his political party and seize his assets. In May, the Senate voted to lift his immunity, further paving the way for persecution. Kabila's party has denounced the charges as unconstitutional persecution. His recent meetings with religious leaders in Goma highlight efforts to mediate the ongoing eastern crisis. The trial continues amid heightened tensions and instability in the volatile North Kivu region. Reporting by Ange Adihe Kasongo and Stanis Bujakera of Reuters. Authorities in Kilifi County, Kenya have unearthed 5 more bodies and 10 human body parts during an ongoing exhumation exercise near Kwabinzaro village, close to the infamous Shakahola forest. Africa News NAP report. This follows the 2023 discovery of over 400 victims linked to a doomsday cult led by Pastor Paul Mackenzie. Pathologist Richard Njoroge confirmed that 6 suspected graves were opened, yielding 5 complete bodies, while 21 additional graves remain. Forensic teams, homicide detectives, and government pathologists are continuing operations amid speculation the new graves are tied to Mackenzie's followers, who were allegedly instructed to starve to meet Jesus. Mackenzie remains in custody, facing multiple murder charges. Kilifi County Commissioner Joseph B. Watt urged caution in sharing unverified information, warning against public panic. The Shakahola tragedy remains one of Kenya's deadliest cult-related incidents, sparking nationwide debate over religious extremism and oversight failures. Authorities do continue to expand their search, anticipating more recoveries as the investigation deepens. And the reporting is by Africa News. Moving on to our next story. Interpol has arrested 1,209 suspects and recovered just over $97 million in a massive cybercrime crackdown across Africa, according to Dominic Wabrie and other agencies. Dubbed Operation Serengeti 2.0, the 3-month initiative involved 18 African nations and the UK, targeting online scams, ransomware, cryptocurrency fraud, and business email compromise schemes. Nearly 88,000 victims were affected. Authorities in Angola dismantled dismantled 25 illegal cryptocurrency mining centers operated by 60 Chinese nationals, seizing equipment worth $37 million, which will be repurposed for energy support. In Zambia, a fraudulent investment scheme stole an estimated $300 million from over 65,000 victims through deceptive cryptocurrency campaigns. 15 arrests were made and bank accounts, domains, and apps were seized. Investigators also uncovered a human trafficking ring during the operation. Additionally, a cross-border inheritance scam originating in Germany but executed from Ivory Coast caused $1.6 million in losses. Interpol, headquartered in Lyon, France, continues to strengthen cooperation among 196 member states, tackling cybercrime, organized financial fraud, and human exploitation globally. The reporting was by Dominic Wabuwire with agencies. Moving on. The Pope has praised the United Kingdom's decision to transfer sovereignty of the Chagos Islands to Mauritius, calling it a significant victory for justice, the BBC reports. Speaking in Vatican City to 15 representatives from the Chagos refugees group, the Pope said the deal signed in May marks a hopeful moment for displaced islanders seeking to return home. Under the treaty, Mauritius gains control while allowing the US and UK to operate a Diego Garcia military base for 99 years, with Mauritius receiving £101 million annually. However, UK opposition leaders and some resettled Chagosians have criticized the agreement, raising concerns over sovereignty and security. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer defended the deal, citing its necessity to prevent potential Chinese expansion in the region. The treaty also restricts civilian and military development around Diego Garcia without UK consent and awaits ratification by both parliaments. Mauritius's Attorney General Gavin Glover described the accord as the resolution of a 60-year struggle for Chagosian rights. This was BBC reporting by Rachel Mula Hendiki. Hendek, rather. Liberia's Ministry of Health has declared a nationwide ban on the sale and distribution of tramadol and Shisha, effective August 22, 2025, according to the Liberian Observer. Health Minister Dr. Louise M. Kapoto announced the moratorium, citing the country's deepening drug epidemic and invoking Chapter 41 of Liberia's public health law. Tramadol will now only be administered in licensed hospitals under medical supervision, while Shisha use is fully prohibited in both public and private spaces. Violators face arrest, fines, and license revocations. Tramadol abuse, particularly among the youth, has fueled rising addiction, crime, and gender-based violence, while Shisha remains glamorized in nightlife circles, despite health risks, including cancer and heart disease. President Joseph Kabila administration calls the ban a critical step toward national security and stability. Public health experts have welcomed the move, but emphasized expanding rehabilitation programs, noting Liberia has fewer than 5 functional facilities nationwide. The Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency has pledged strict enforcement through border controls, inspections, and targeted raids. And this was Liberian Observer with reporting by David A. Yates. Those have been our top stories on Africa Good Morning. Shortly, we'll be joined by Mike Sichula, as he says, Buriwanji from Zambia with the Zambia Report. But prior to that, it's the weather. All right, it's time for us to talk to Mike Sichula as he delivers the Zambia report. Mike Udwanji.
Nerebuino Mulibwanji, Africa, good morning to our dear viewers.
Africa, good morning. Indeed. Now, the next story diplomatically does not seem to have many issues, but socially, a couple of Zambians, particularly the ones who support the cause of Palestine, following the positions taken by the South African and the Namibian government, are not particularly pleased with this. And I did see some comments on social media. However, the Israeli government has reopened its embassy in Lusaka, and this is 50 years after it was closed.
Quietly an interesting development, like you've stated there. So what has happened is that the Israeli government has reopened its embassy in Lusaka after 50 years when it was closed. So during the opening ceremony, Israeli ambassador to Zambia, Ofla Fai, said that Zambia holds a unique opportunity to attract Israeli expertise and investment to key sectors of Zambia's. She also said that the reopening of the embassy is part of her country's deepening ties across the African region. However, some opposition figures within Zambia have since opposed the move, and there are some citizens who have gone to seek a police payment from the Zambia police so that they can hold a peaceful demonstration against the reopening of this Israeli embassy in Lusaka. So this has attracted divisions from a cross section of society in Zambia, who say that Zambia's stance to reopen this embassy goes against the wishes and the aspirations of the Palestine, considering how the Israeli government has invaded Palestine, killing dozens of people in that tiny country. So it is something that has equally shocked the Zambian government, because they didn't expect this backlash, where what is happening in Palestine seems to have touched so many Zambians, and Zambia siding with the government of Israel is something that they did not expect. So what we don't know at the moment is whether the police have given a go-ahead to a group of Zambians who want to hold a peaceful demonstration over the reopening of the embassy in Lusaka.
All right, Mike, let's move on. A group of about 50 people has emerged in the country speaking a language only known to themselves.
Quite a story that has passed so many Zambians for the past 40, 30 years. Because according to this group, who they call the god as Suyani, and speak a language called K4, that their leader, Loi Mweva, taught them. It's something that a number of Zambians did not come to know about this group, even when they started their journey from Mazabuka in the southern part of Zambia, because they believed that they were headed to the city of Jerusalem. So from 1999, this group has been moving across Zambia, and noticed not until the past 2 weeks when they were cornered on the copper belt in Ndola, because they got the attention of people when a crowd of about more than 50 people moving, and when they wanted to speak to them, they found that they could not understand the local languages that we speak, that is Nyanja, Bemba, the common ones. They were speaking their own language that is unique to them. It is not a language that you can find in any part of Zambia. That is when authorities moved in to find out who they are, and they established that this group, according to their reading, since 1999, with the sole purpose of going to Jerusalem. So they have moved across from different parts. So with what has been established now, is that this group, when they were interviewed at length, they want a permanent settlement where they can live and conduct their religious activities, something that authorities are currently working on. But according to some of their members within the group, they are saying the only person who they can listen to is their leader, Mr. Mwemba, who God speaks to. So it is only through him that they will either continue their journey to Jerusalem, or they will permanently be given land on the Copper Belt province or anywhere where they can conduct their religious activities.
Very interesting update indeed, Mike. Now, authorities have assured the country has sufficient fuel stocks to meet current demand. Please expand on that.
So what has been happening is that Zambia has been experiencing a shortage of diesel, which the Minister of Energy, Mr. Makozo Chikote, attributes to localized supply chain caused by some oil marketing companies. Because when he addressed the nation last week, he said that the country has enough fuel stock of diesel reserves that stand about 64.8 million liters of enough to last for 2 weeks. But when you go to some service stations across the country, you will discover that diesel is missing. But insiders within the oil marketing industry, they are saying that this cause of shortage is an artificial arm twisting approach they want to use so that government can listen to their plea, so that the price of diesel can move from the current price to a higher price that can they make profits. So this is a game of arm twisting government, and it is sad that authorities have not managed to bring down this cartel that is trying to twist government so that they can have favorable prices of diesel. Because the model that the Zambian energy sector is using is a monthly review pricing model. So to them, this monthly review pricing model is giving them a disadvantage because they do not know whether the price next month will increase or is going to decrease, which is at the discretion of the Energy Regulation Board. So they are trying to fear, they have a fear that if the price decrease, then they are likely to make losses, as they also do not have enough holding facilities so that they can maximize on profits whenever the price increases by the Energy Regulation Board.
All right, Mike, let's get into some sport. Zambia's envoy at the 2025 COSAFA CAF Women's Cup, Zesco Ndola Girls, started the campaign on a high with a win over Beauties FC of Namibia.
Yeah, quite a good result for the Zesco Ndola Girls, who won the league last season without losing a single match during the entire season. So going into this competition, their first competition in history, expectations are high, and when they won against Beauties FC of Namibia by 3-0, it sent a positive morale to the team, who are looking for a perfect outing at their regional COSAFA CAF qualifications tournament. But yesterday, the team lost 1-0 Giants, Mamelodi Ladies, and it kind of like reduced their chances, but they are still hopeful that they are going to make it. In the picture there is Hazel Nari. So she's been out of action for almost 2 years. She is Zambia's Copper Queens first choice goalkeeper. So she made a return during this match after recovering from a near career-ending injury during one of the World Cup qualifiers with the Copper Queens. So she has been acquired by Zesco Ndola Girls to regain her form, and she was given the first match in the team, and she did not concede. Then when they lost to Mamelodi Sundowns, she only conceded a goal, and from what we've been able to see, she's surely recovering, and she must be called to the senior Copper Queens as they face Namibia in the upcoming 2026 WAFCON qualifiers matches. So, but also one of the things that is going to happen is that Barbara Banda is not going to feature for the Copper Queens because she has suffered a season-long injury during one of the matches in the USA. So for the Ndola girls, it looks that the defeat of yesterday is not going to derail their ambitions of qualifying for the women's CAF competition because their coach, William Zuru, is hopeful that the team is going to regroup and pick up positive results against teams from Botswana and Malawi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sichula, for delivering the news from Zambia. I know it's been an interesting morning for you as you're still getting over the headache of Manchester United's draw and ability to get 1 point in the last 2 games, but you're a strong man, a committed man. We thank you for being on the show.
Wow, I didn't expect it, but like I told you last time, Arsenal, you beat us on the first day of the league, but remember we're going to give a very big party on the last day of the EPL. Thank you very much, and Africa, good morning.
Endlessly optimistic, I see. All right, that was Mr. Mike Sichula delivering the news from Zambia as he does so well every single Monday and whenever there's a major update from that nation. We're going to end the show where we started the show, in Congo, where the new central bank governor is targeting dollar dependence. The Democratic Republic of Congo's newly appointed central bank governor, Andre Wameso, has outlined an ambitious plan to reduce the country's reliance on the US dollar and restore trust in the Congolese franc. Bloomberg reports nearly 90% of Congo's transactions, including commodity exports, rent, and wages, are dollarized due to historic hyperinflation and continued instability in the local currency. Wameso intends to rebuild confidence by promoting franc-denominated securities, reforming the housing and social systems, and mandating that construction materials and mortgages eventually be priced in francs. Congo's banking sector has faced challenges, with many dollar transactions routed through foreign correspondent banks, slowing local clearances. To improve efficiency, Wameso is working with the U.S. Treasury to establish a central clearinghouse to process transactions domestically. Additionally, Congo plans to expand the issuance of long-term investment instruments, hoping to position the franc as a viable financial asset. Wameso insists strengthening local currency usage is crucial for long-term economic sovereignty and sustainable national growth. Those have been our stories on Africa Good Morning. Thank you for joining us on Monday, the 25th of August. Tomorrow, we return with more news from broader Africa, with Talent Gore stepping in with the Zimbabwe report as well. From me, Ashwin Bedi, and the Africa Good Morning team, do make sure you catch us on oneupto.com, oneuptwo.com. Click Echo, and you can have a look at this episode and other NTV Africa shows. So, oneupto.com, click Echo, where prime time is anytime. From me, Ashwin Bedi, and the team. Swela Zvakanaka.